when they're kids, were using these 1970s spherical lenses.
We have been chosen to witness its power over life and death in its most devious ways.
Nico, how are you today?
Hey, how's it going? Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Well, congratulations on the monkey.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I watched it. I don't know if you heard they had an event at the cemetery, the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So we watched it in
Yeah,
projection.
is
Yeah,
that
that's
where
where I
you saw
watched
it?
it.
Oh,
So
that's amazing. Wow, what a good
yeah,
way to watch it.
yeah,
Wow.
cool setting. The only drawback is, because it's a projection screen, I'm not getting the full effect of your beautiful work.
I know. That's been a big thing, the projections. This movie was done in such a particular way, and the image was crafted in a very, very precise way. It was colored in a very precise way. So sometimes the projections aren't always to that standard, just the nature, right,
Hmm.
of movies, and no projection will be ever the same, like some will be different because the projection screen is different, or
Right.
because the projector is older and whatever. But yes, I'm glad you at least got to enjoy the setting.
Yes, but I did want to ask you, because in the notes, the director Osgood Perkins mentions or refers a lot to the Gremlins. And now in
Mhm.
thinking about and Gremlins, I just watched it on TV again because I love that movie. It's a great
Yeah.
movie.
I love that
Uh,
movie too.
I think there's some similar lighting, if I'm not mistaken, especially the nighttime stuff, because a lot of stuff takes place in the evening as well.
Mhm.
So I started to harken back. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. A little bit of the look kind of reminds me of that. Did he reference that at all in the look when he was talking to you?
Not really. I think Oz and I really referenced other movies in terms of their tone and
Hmm.
sometimes their camera move, but mostly their tone. And I don't think we ever referenced Gremlins as a lighting reference per se, but I'm sure that the tone influenced the lighting, and I'm sure that just by me having watched that movie, I was influenced by that movie to then shoot the monkey in a certain way.
Now, the young boy who plays the twins, he's amazing in it. So I
Oh
started,
yeah, Christian.
yeah,
He's
so I started to
incredible.
think about,
Yeah.
did you like them differently? Because I thought initially I thought they were different actors, and then I checked online on IMDb, and I was like, oh shoot, it's the same actor. So as far as your work, did you light him in a different way, a different manner?
Yeah, I did. I did. I wanted to, well, yes, I lit the bill side sometimes a little bit from below, sometimes a little bit starker lighting, and sometimes cooler lighting. Um, in general, because I felt like I could take more risks with that character,
Hmm.
because this is a more sort of edgy character, and certainly when they're adults, I do that very intentionally. How Bill, when he's in his lair and everything, he always has like a harsh backlight, and I did that because I wanted to sort of show that edgier side of that character.
Hmm.
And sometimes I'll light them with cooler light, Bill with cooler light, and then Hal with sort of warmer light. And I try to be very intentional with that. One, to aid the difference in characters, but two, to really try to be emotional about how the camera work is portraying the characters. Although I do have to say that both actors, Christian
Theo?
and and Theo, are brilliant,
Hmm.
and they both really didn't need my help, but anyway, I still try to.
Yeah, because we see a lot of the difference in their physicality, right? One's
Yes.
confident person and the other one isn't because of the brother.
Yeah, and our brilliant costume designer, Micah, she really made it happen too.
Now I read that you brought in some 70s vintage lenses, and I just there
Yes.
was another movie that kind of did the same thing. So I was wondering, how does that work when you have modern cameras? How do you make those two, like an old format and a new format, work?
So we did a lot of tests with different cameras and different lenses. And the idea was that we wanted to change how the world felt when they became adults.
Hmm.
So when they're kids, we're using these 1970s spherical lenses. And then when they become adults, we change to anamorphic lenses.
Mm.
And then when the monkey is sort of conquered, or they make peace with it, we use a different set of anamorphic lenses that are modern. And what we wanted to do is really change the look of the piece as it goes by, uh, on the basis of how the monkey was affecting the world,
Mm.
right? So yeah, we used several different lenses, and we did a lot of tests to make sure that they would work for the camera. So, for example, we use the Alexa 35, and these anamorphic lenses, um, we crop them in a way that we're using the full sensor because our aspect ratio is 2 to 1.
Hmm.
So we actually used, I don't remember exactly what the aspect ratio was that we used. I think 3 to 1, something like that, to then project onto a 2 to 1 image. So to answer your question, we did a lot of tests, and we made sure that the equipment was always maximized and used well. Mhm.
Now, did you use 35 for the 70s? Did you use for the old cameras? How, I was wondering how old vintage lenses fit new cameras, or do you have
They
to
they
get new
they
old
they,
equipment?
they fit fine,
Oh, okay.
because the mountings are all the same.
Hmm.
It's really about how their image will project onto a sensor.
Mm.
And it's about making sure that it's going to be with enough definition and resolution, because sometimes these lenses, they're so vintage that you lose so much detail that it's sort of like milky. I mean, just a small parenthesis, our additional photography had a couple of scenes where they couldn't use the lenses that I chose in the way that I chose them, so those have less definition actually, and for
Mm.
the technically savvy people, they're going to tell that nothing's really sharp, which was an unfortunate thing. But the rest of the movie is perfectly sharp and perfectly, sort of calibrated for those lenses.
Yeah, I like the way the monkey was shot. It really gives you this vintagey look, especially when it starts, that smile. It's like, oh, was that
Oh,
done
thank
on
you.
set, or is that a mix of post and obviously the effects are post, but the
Yeah,
lighting of the monkey, just the way it was lit, like
all
it
on
intensified
set.
the fear.
Yeah, all on set. The biggest thing is the eye light. When we would light the monkey, we would light the face, the skin, and then we would have to have a different lighting for just the eyes. And that's to cast a reflection of the light onto the eyes, that sometimes would be a little dot, and that eye light was the key to lighting the monkey. Without that eye light, you don't have the monkey. It just,
Hmm.
you need that to really connect to the character in the sense of like making it look scary and have the audience feel like it's sort of alive even though it's a monkey.
Hmm.
That was done through the eye light, and our color correction helped just bring a little bit of more detail and color out of the eyes because they're a little bit sunken inside. but
Hmm.
but it was mostly 99% of it, 95% of it was done on set.
Wow. Yeah, the effect was there because every time you saw the monkey on screen, you're like, oh no.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Nico.
Thank you, really
Glad
appreciate it.
you had time to talk to me, and thanks a lot.
Of course, of course.